So what we about the AI infrastructure layer we have discussed. The companies who is empowering the AI we have discussed yesterday, my dear aspirant. So here the AI completely runs on the stack of different infrastructure layers. Okay, and coming to the for AI, so my dear aspirants, for the processing and chip and hardware components, all these companies like Nvidia, so Intel, so Apple, Qualcomm, all these so companies, they are providing the hardware components and chips which are essential for AI. Okay, now, and the next comes for in cloud and compute platforms. Okay, this layer, my dear aspirant, it will provide the massive computing power on demand. Okay, so when it comes to from Microsoft, we are having Azure and Google Cloud and Amazon. Okay, all these organizations, so we're having in the cloud, and IBM, Oracle, and all these things in the cloud platform. So cloud and compute platforms, as I told you yesterday. So we're having Microsoft. Okay, it runs Azure AI infrastructure. Okay, so basically it is partnered with OpenAI. That's Copilot and enterprise level AI tools. And as I told you yesterday, Google Cloud. Okay, okay, Cloud and Amazon, IBM, Oracle, all these cloud computing platforms we are having it. And yesterday I discussed AI models and research companies. So we're having is OpenAI, okay, GPT models, okay, Anthropic, so Meta or DeepMind. So all this the AI model and research companies is going on. So in India, okay, AI and IT infrastructure layer. So coming to the organizations, we're having service-based companies like TCS. Okay, it is acting as AI consulting for global companies, and as well as it is building. Okay, it builds enterprise AI applications, and we're having Infosys. Okay, it is so doing AI automation and as well as plus enterprise level applications. So like that, if you go with Wipro, Reliance, all these service-based and product-based companies, okay, so they have been doing the services in India in the IT department, sorry, in the AI department. Okay, fine. Not only one company, my dear aspirant, there is a full ecosystem to run these AI platforms. Okay, fine, great. And what you discussed yesterday, that impact of AI in various departments we have discussed. Okay, and what I discussed yesterday, like in management roles, HR, testing, web development, even in non-IT telecalling. So database administration levels, network engineer, okay, technical support, system administration, and all these things. We have discussed that it is going to impact in various departments. And as well as we have discussed what are the different kinds of jobs you are going to get if you learn AI. So you can get a full stack developer, prompt engineer, AI product manager, an LLM engineer, and RAG engineer, AI architect, AI automation specialist. So if you upgrade few more skills, we can become data scientist, AI architect. So like these different kinds of new jobs, okay, is going to arrive by learning this AI. Already few are existing is there, few more in demand, few more jobs also is going to come on this specific AI domain. Okay, and we have discussed what the difference between AI, ML, NLP, what is the use of Gen AI, SDK, and all these things. What is prompt engineer? Once we'll revise all these things, my dear aspirant. Okay, and my dear aspirant, okay, coming to Gen AI, what is meant by Gen AI and all these things. Once we'll revise what you discussed, and we'll add few more so technical points in this. Okay, listen carefully. Okay, fine. So let us assume that, my dear aspirant, what is generative AI? What is the difference between So generative AI and agentic AI will discuss it. For suppose, so my dear aspirant, let us think that we're having this Amazon website. Okay, see it. Okay, to create this user interface, my dear aspirant, previously, okay, up to here, okay, let us assume that up to here, I want to create this user interface. Okay, how much time it will take? Can anyone having any knowledge in development sector? Okay, I want to develop this user interface of this Amazon. How much time it will take approximately? So can anyone? How much time approximately it will take? Okay, let us assume that previously olden days, my dear aspirant, to so design the user interface approximately. Let us think that complete user interface it will take approximately 3 days of time. Okay, done. Okay, to create that user interface. Okay, and to create backend. Okay, to integrate with the database and the APIs and deployment by the aspirant like that. It has taken previously 3 days of work has been taken to create a simple user interface and all these things. But now what their aspirant that work is going to be completed in 3 to 4 hours. Getting the point. Previously, work was it is taking nearly 3 to 4 days, but by using this Gen AI, my dear aspirant, by using this AI tools, we can able to complete in okay, so 3 to 4 hours. Okay, just a minute. Okay, 3 to 4 hours. It is going to complete. My question is, my dear aspirant, do you think AI is replacing the developers or upgrading them? Can anyone? What's your answer? So the work is going to complete in 3 to 4 hours. Do you think is AI is replacing developers or it is upgrading them? Can anyone? My dear future as AI developers and my dear future tech leaders, can anyone? Do you think AI is replacing developers? Just it is upgrading.
I think it's upgrading mostly.
Yes, mostly comes to upgrading only. Okay, fine. See, my dear Asmi, let us assume that they have taken one mechanical student who is not having any knowledge in developing a web application. Okay, by using AI tools, my dear aspirant, he cannot completely develop the AI application. Okay, what is happening already? Those who are working in that specific domain, those who have having the knowledge of how to creating the user interface and backend, those who are aware of the databases and all these things, my dear aspirant, they can only do it that by simply by writing the prompt. Okay, the person who is not aware of the technology, he cannot uh, do it in an efficient way. So nothing but my dear aspirant, what is happening here is that it is nothing but upgrading. Okay, now this is the point you need to observe it here. Okay. Okay, fine. Next thing, my dear aspirant, okay, is not replacing the developers, my dear aspirant, is upgrading the developers. Okay, now the basic level, okay, coding will be replaced, but ultimately, my dear aspirant, to develop a complete architecture and application or to design anything, so we need the developers. Okay, now just what you're doing, we are upgrading. See it here. So we came to know that we are having different kinds of aspirants came from different departments, right? So by learning, okay, only AI they cannot get a job. Okay, what why they are learning? So they want to upgrade in the next domain. Or few aspirants are there. Why here in your course curriculum we are discussing Python. Okay, even non-IT background also can able to enter. Why? Because we are discussing everything from the scratch. So we are discussing Python, so NLP, okay, na, and as well as here after Python machine learning models, how to design it, and after that we are going to discuss the Gen AI, okay, agentic AI, okay, prompt engineering, like this everything we are discussing here. At the end of the course, you will able in a position to create your own AI agents. Okay, fine. So at the end, these are the things we are going to get from our side. Fine. Now I got it now. Next thing, one thing here is listen it carefully. One thing, my dear aspirant, so today I will show you how these tools like ChatGPT actually think. Okay, I will explain you. Listen it. So my dear aspirant, previously before generation of generative AI, before having generative AI, if you want anything, what you have done simply you have using the Google. What the Google has given, Google is giving only the links, but the ChatGPT is giving you accurate answers, no? Okay, fine. So my dear aspirant, my question is that. So olden days, before having this generative AI, okay, as a software developer, even I when I started a career in 12 years and 13 years back, so as a software developer, before having the generative AI, how the work. So olden days, okay, my dear Aspen, suppose if I want to build any login system, what you have done previously, we have searched in the Google and we have opened the multiple tabs, you have read multiple documentations. Okay, now we have tried different codes. If you got any errors, so nearly it has taken so lots of time to us. Now what is happening by using this generative AI, my dear aspirant, it is saving your so time. And as well as previously, my dear aspirant, while debugging the code, so previously without having the generative AI, how we have done. So when we're getting, if we get any errors, okay, now we have searched in many platforms, okay, now, and we have searched in forums. Okay, so lots of frustration, lots of time has been wasted. Now by having these AI tools, my dear aspirant, simply we can paste that and we can able to find what the error is there, and we can able to find the root cause, we can write the correct code, and it is giving all the explanation. Okay, no, this is the thing you need to observe. Okay, and what you discussed yesterday that about generative AI. Okay, what the generative AI? Generative AI means nothing but so that can create a new content like test images and videos and all these things. So one question is, my dear aspirant, so how does it gives you such a clean structured answer? How this chat GPT when I am when you giving any prompt, how that it is giving a such a clean and structured answer? Have you guessed any time? Okay, this is the question for my side. What will be the answer?
Keywords.
So by giving the keywords, okay. Okay, one thing, is it searching in Google chat GPT? If I give you, how does it is giving? Suppose I want uh, for the explanation of the Python, one loop is there. Okay, Python for loops. Okay, now, so I want this topic. I've searched in I the prompt in chat GPT. Is it searching in Google? How are you getting? Or is it copying somewhere? Is it copying? Sorry, is it copying somewhere? Or is it thinking like human? It is not thinking like human. To think like human, it will take some time. Okay, is it thinking like a human? So these are the things. Okay, let us think that I want to know some information. Okay, about for loop, one topic is there in Python. So how does, if you test anything in these AI tools, how does it is giving such a clean and structure? Is it copying? Is it searching in Google? No, not at all. It is not searching. Is it copying somewhere? No. Is it thinking like human? To think like the human, it is not at all possible. Okay, it will take some time. Okay, so much research is going on. Okay, none of this, my dear aspirant. Let us understand what is happening behind the scenes. Now we are discussing. Everyone is using Chat GPT. Now how it is working? So technically, we are discussing. Okay, now first step, my dear aspirant. Step one will be the training phase. Okay, now what before AI talks to you, what is happening here is that So first step, I will say it here. So first will be the training phase. Okay, what will happen in this training phase? First important thing here is that AI does not uh, learn when you ask the question. If I ask any question, AI does not learn on that time. What is happening here? It is already learned before. So you have given the prompt. So listen it. So what is happening here is that, my dear aspirant, so companies like OpenAI, okay, so Chat GPT, okay, and like Meta, Google. From Google, we have the Gemini AI. From OpenAI, we are having Chat GPT. Okay, the Meta. All these platforms, all these companies, what is happening? All these models. Okay, listen it carefully, my dear Asmin. Companies like OpenAI, Meta, Google, all these train these models by using the massive data. What the first step? What is happening here is that, so lots of data, massive data has been trained to these models. Okay, so like the models like so my dear aspirant chat, we are using GPT models. Okay, and let us assume that Gemini and so Claude AI. Okay, what is happening as I told you now? So massive data. Okay, companies, they're training these models by using the massive data. Okay, so they will collect the data from various resources. So like in the internet, we're having different kinds of books. We're having the books, okay, and in the websites and different kinds of coding platform, documentation, in all these platforms. Okay, what is happening here is that the massive data. Okay, now huge amount of data, billions of data has been trained to these AI models. Okay, companies are spending nearly so millions of crores, my dear aspirant. Okay, so to train the data for the GPT models, okay, the companies are spending some, so millions of crores, my dear aspirant. Okay, no. So why? Because they need to train the data from various, what are the in the internet, so many websites are there. We need to pay some for the APIs. By using the APIs, we need to get some information. For that, we need to pay. Okay, from internet and some various coding platform, from lots of documentation, books. Okay, some. Okay, fine. Great. Uh, so my dear aspirant, okay. What you discussed, okay, it will be so technical how it is working. So it will be divided into the tokenization. Fine. So getting this point, my dear aspirant. Next, after dividing the tokenization, how it is internally working, I am explaining. So my dear aspirant, this, what are these words are there na? So these words, or technically it will be converted into the numbers internally. Okay, I'll explain that architecture also. Technically, it will, these words are converted into the numbers. Okay, now why? Because machines can understand only numbers, na? So not the words. Next, this conversion is also will be happen in this tokenization. It will convert so the sentence into the words, and these words will be converted into these numbers. Up to here, tokenization concept. Okay, the tokenization will discuss in a detailed way. Next, after that, what is happening here is that after dividing that this AI tools, so next comes the pattern learning. So pattern learning will be there. So in the pattern learning, my dear aspirant, now it comes the intelligent part. Okay, during the training, while training the our AI model, what is happening here is that, so lots of data will be trained. So now what the AI, so it will learn from the patterns. Okay, now which words come together, what it will do, like which words come together, how the sentence are formed, how the content, okay, context changes meaningfully. All these things, the pattern will be learned. Okay, this AI tools will be learned from the pattern. Next, it comes the pattern learning. So I can say that which words come together. Okay, and as well as how sentences are formed, and as well as how this contest. And next thing, so how the so contest changes meaningfully. All these things will be okay. So analyzed how these contents will be changed meaningful. So all these things. Next, what is happening here is that AI recognizes the patterns. Okay. Next thing, what is happening? It is recognizing the patterns. So what the two after that? After dividing the content into the tokens, after that it will gonna recognize the patterns. Okay, now fine. So after that, what will happen here is that then comes the prediction part. Okay, next it will comes to the prediction. Okay, now so my dear aspirant, what is happen here is that what the thing A is going to predict the answer. Okay, fine. So after recognizing what is happening here, so technically, so next prediction it will come. So A does not thinks, my dear aspirant. One thing A predicts, okay, based on the probability. Okay, if I say that, just I will write, I drink. Okay, what I will write, usually I will drink. What will be the probable answer? Maybe water, tea. Okay, now or drink. So as I told you, first lots of data will be loaded here. First step. Okay. Now training phase, massive data will be loaded from various books and all these things website. Next, it will be divided into the parts. Okay, divided into the small parts, small words. Next, these words will be converted into the numbers. Next comes the pattern learning, which words come together, how the sentences are formed, how the content changed meaningfully. And after that, what will do it here is it will recognize the patterns, what is there in that. And after that, it comes to the prediction. Okay, based on the probability, it will be more chances. Okay, no? So which is having the more chances? I'm saying that I drink. What will be the next predicted word which is having the more chances based on the prompt? Since as we are the human, so more probability will be, so what? Okay, based on the probability we'll get, my dear aspirant, and based on the prompt also have given. If I write like this, I drink. So it will assume that okay, since it is a human is, so the more probability will be what? See how A is predicting. So A calculates based on the so probability. So it chooses which is having the highest probability one. So getting these points, my dear aspirant, technically, so it has chosen based on the probability. This is the things happening in this GPT models. Okay, like this we are getting the data. And another thing, okay, just we are overall understanding technically about the thing. Next, we'll discuss what is mean by LLM, my dear aspirant. LLM, so very much important. I can say that till now, what you have understand how the prediction is happening, okay, and how the patterns, tokens, but what it actually happening, all these things we'll discuss. So coming to the LLM, so as I told you, it is abbreviated as the large language models. Okay, fine. So one thing I am saying that, my dear aspirant, LLM is the brain behind this tools like ChatGPT. Okay, so I can define that LLM is the brain. Okay, LLM is the also you can say that so brain behind tools like so chat gpt and all these things. Okay, fine. So what is this LLM is doing it here, my dear aspirant? As I told you, LLMs, it reads huge amount of data. Okay, and learns how the humans write, speak and explain. Okay, by this LLMs only, my dear aspirant, huge amount of data will be stored. So technically I can say that so LLM is a deep learning model trained on the massive data, okay, to understand and to generate human like language, okay, by using the property. This is a very important technical point you need to know, my dear aspirant. So as I told you today, discussing all these technical points. Okay, so as I told you, large language models. It is a deep learning model. Okay, it comes under the deep learning model. So how it will be there? So it will be trained on the massive data. Okay, it will be so trained on the massive data. I will explain my dear Aspen how to train the data and all these things, how to do the so prediction analysis and all these things. Okay, it is a deep learning model trained on massive data. So to understand, okay, okay, to understand and generate the human like language. Okay, human like so language. How it is generating based on the more chances of probabilities. Okay, this is the point you need to know. Okay, and understand and so generate like humans. Fine, great. So my dear aspirant, so how these LLMs are designed? LLMs are designed by using the neural networks. So called they are designed by so they are built by using the transformers. Okay, they will be built by using the transformers. Okay, this is the point you need to observe. Okay, now fine. So what do you understand by this? First, my dear aspirant, what is the first concept? Tokenization, pattern matching, predictions, and finally we are getting the so output, right? Okay, so this is the thing. And my dear aspirant, so what are the LLM models we are having it here? So what are the LLM models? As I told you know, LLM models we are having is so Claude. It is basically nowadays Claude is strong in long documentation. Okay, it is very good for analysis and as well as summarizing, and as well as we are having GPT-4. Okay, it is which is very good in coding and reasoning. Okay, very popularly, where it is very popular and mostly used in GPTs, and as well as so Gemini AI. So basically, it will be integrated with the Google tools, and Llama is there. So it is a free and open source. Like these different kinds of LLM models, we are having it. And another thing, my dear aspirant. So after that, we'll discuss some frameworks are there. Okay, what are the frameworks we are having it here? So we are having some free tools. So by using these frameworks, we can able to create our own projects, my dear aspirant. So first one we are having, so these are the LLM frameworks, LangChain, we are having it. Okay, and as well as we are having okay, okay, Streamlight, and as well as Llama Index. Okay, and as well as we're having so Llama Index. So these are the frameworks what you're going to discuss. So what this LangChain will do it here is LangChain will connect, my dear aspirant, different kinds of LLMs, different kinds of LLMs with the data and logic. And this is then a Llama Index in real time. How can you use it? It is used to connect AIs with the PDF files and all these things. And here, Streamlight. The Streamlight, my dear aspirant, is going to create the user interface to us. Okay, you no need to learn front end, my dear aspirant. By learning this Streamlight framework, it is going to design the websites too. Okay, and by using these frameworks, so my dear aspirant, what are the projects we are going to discuss? What are the live projects we are going to discuss here? Is first one is by using this, as I told you, at the end of the course, we are able in a position to create different kinds of live projects. First one is resume analyzer. Okay, this project we will going to design by using this so frameworks. Okay, LLM frameworks. Okay, let us assume that, my dear aspirant. So let us think that we are having one HR. Usually, is he or she is getting 1,000 resumes. Okay, now it is highly impossible to read all these 1,000 resumes. Na? So we'll create a one project What it will do it here, it will scan all these 1,000 resumes, and it will finally it is going to give you the summary. Okay, now by this a resume analyzer, we can able to extract the skills, and as well as we can able to download the resumes and all these things. The type of one a resume analyzer we're going to create, my dear aspirant. And another thing, one PDF chatbot. Okay, what we'll do it here is we'll create 100 to 200 page PDF. Okay, so what I will do it here is, so in real time this is the thing is happening. So what I will do, I will ask questions on this. What we'll do, we'll create one small chatbot on this PDF. It is going to ask the question. Let us think that I have created one so Python concept, or let us think that I have created some Python loops and okay, data structures and oops concepts I have created. I had given the PDF to you. Okay, na? So we'll create one project, that one chatbot will create. So on that PDF you can ask the questions.